Greta Thunberg, Empath or Narcissist, Part 8. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. We're moving into the final straight now in respect of the analysis of Greta Thunberg to determine, is she an empath, is she a narcissist, is she a normal, or simply somebody that is narcissistic but not a narcissist. We've been examining various aspects of her life, and we now turn to an interesting area, which is that of awards, which gives us a further understanding of the way that Greta Thunberg behaves. She has been nominated for and provided with a variety of different awards. For instance, she received the Svenska Dagbladet Climate Change Essay Competition back in May 2018. This was awarded by the Swedish Daily News. This demonstrated her ability to articulate climate issues even before she had achieved global fame, which demonstrates that she at least has some substance in relation to the pursuit of her views about the climate. In December 2018, she was declared one of Time's 25 most influential teens of 2018, and this marked her growing international recognition as a youth activist. In April 2019, Norway awarded her an award from the Fritt Ord Foundation. This was shared with Nature and Youth, and it celebrated freedom of speech, where Thunberg was recognised for her outspoken climate advocacy. Now, what is interesting is that Thunberg donated her share of the prize money to a lawsuit aimed at halting Norwegian oil exploration in the Arctic. Once again, this provides us with useful evidence. Ordinarily, you might think that a narcissist would be inclined to retain the money because it's a residual benefit. Now, in relation to Thunberg, we know that she must have backers because she has never actually done a proper job. She's always been involved in activism and therefore must have received financial support, perhaps from climate change charities and possibly sponsors and so forth, because she hasn't had a notable actual job. We know that she doesn't come from a particularly wealthy family, but nevertheless, the fact that she donates this money may well point to the presence of emotional empathy on her part, rather than keeping it for herself, and furthermore, that it was donated for a cause that was linked to climate activism. Or is this yet a further example of performative behaviour on her part, whereby she does these things in order to assert control and draw fuel by managing a facade of being seen to be a kind and caring person? In April 2019, she was named as one of the 100 most influential people in the world for 2019 by Time, and this cemented her status as a leading voice in climate activism. In April 2019, the Milarepe Foundation of Chile awarded her the Laudato Si Prize, which was done to highlight her alignment with global ethical and religious calls for climate action. In May 2019, the University of Mons in Belgium conferred on Thunberg an honorary degree of Doctor Honoris Causa. In June 2019, Amnesty International gave their highest honour, which was shared with the Fridays for Future movement, for Thunberg's leadership in climate activism by giving her the Ambassador of Conscience Award. In September 2019, she was awarded the Right Livelihood Award in Sweden. Apparently, this underscored her global influence and also provided her with funds for her continued activism, because there was a cash prize of approximately $103,000. In 2019, she received the Webby Award for Social Movement of the Year to recognise her effective use of social media to amplify climate activism. She was also awarded in 2019 British GQ Man of the Year, Game Changer of the Year, Glamour Woman of the Year Award, BBC's 100 Women of 2019, Nature's 10, Time Person of the Year, Forbes listed the world's 100 most powerful women. In 2020, she received the Shorty Award for Best in Activism. I'm not sure if that was linked to her height. Ba-boom. The Human Act Award. She received the Forbes 30 Under 30 Europe Social Entrepreneurs Award. She received the Gulbenkian Prize for Humanity in July 2020. She received a Critics' Choice Documentary Award for Most Compelling Living Subject of a Documentary. In 2021, she received the International Green Film Award. In 2021, she received the Cinema Eye Honours Award for The Unforgettables. She received a Focus Magazine Award in 2021. In 2021, she was given an Honorary Doctor of Laws. In 2021, she received a Women in Youth Activism Award. And in 2023, she received an Honorary Doctor of Theology. All of these are linked to her climate activism, which demonstrates a consistent approach. However, is this consistent approach that of a narcissist that revels in the receipt of the awards because naturally the recognition provides fuel? Or is this simply someone being recognized for the fact that they show genuine conviction for a movement, a cause that she cares deeply about? She has been repeatedly nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. She was nominated annually from 2019 to 2023 for her contributions to peace through climate activism. She didn't win, however. She's had species named after her. In December 2019, there was Nelaptides Greta, which was a new species of beetle from Kenya. In 2020, there was Craspedotropis Greta Thunbergi, which was a new species of land snail from Borneo. And once again, this was done to reflect her impact on environmental science and conservation. She's also turned down some awards. In October 2019, she turned down the Nordic Council Environment Prize. She was selected for her climate activism, but declined the award, which was worth approximately $52,000, stating the climate movement doesn't need any more awards, urging politicians to listen to the best available science instead. She declined it because she criticised Nordic countries for not matching their environmental reputation with sufficient action, emphasising emissions and ecological footprints. Is this the provocation of a narcissist or someone who's actually demonstrating that she's not a hypocrite, whereby she's stating, no, I'm not going to take an award from you. I don't think you're doing enough with regard to the environment. She also turned down the International Children's Peace Prize. This was awarded by the Kids' Right Foundation. She was nominated but refused to accept or attend the ceremony because it required her to fly, conflicting with her commitment to avoiding air travel. Once again, this appears to have demonstrated her consistency in aligning her actions with principles, something which is invariably not found with narcissists. As you know, many narcissists engage in behaviours whereby they will say one thing and do another, their hypocrisy being often writ large because it's expedient and convenient for them to behave that way. Thus with Thunberg, she has been recognised repeatedly and received awards, which for a narcissist naturally provides fuel and an opportunity to triangulate people with that award for the purposes of control and would assist in the management of a facade. But it might also demonstrate that here is an individual that has behaved consistently, has been recognised for her consistent climate activism, and has donated prize money for the purposes of its use elsewhere. She's consistently donated prize money and earnings from books, speaking engagements, and media projects to environmental and humanitarian causes. For instance, the Greta Thunberg Foundation was established in 2020, and it was funded with the Right Livelihood Award of $103,000 and other earnings. €1 million was donated from her Gulbenkian Prize win, and it was donated to organisations like Stop Earcide Foundation and Fridays for Future Brazil. Book royalties from No One Is Too Small to Make a Difference, Scenes from the Heart and the Climate Book, were also directed to environmental charities. Now, whilst I've stated it's clear that Thunberg evidently has financial backers, The fact of her making these charitable donations does tend to suggest the presence of a consistent approach and also emotional empathy. Or is she a particularly clever and evolved narcissist who recognises the value of such philanthropy in order to make her look good? Well, further evidence for us to consider as we now move into the penultimate part of part 9, where we consider her various diagnoses and their role with regard to the assessment. Join me there.